Intake recommended. 3, 2.
If you hadn't already guessed from the title, I think Subnautica is a pretty damn good game. Before we dive into the metaphorical meat of it, let me ease you into the world of my mindless and mostly incomprehensible blathering with a short anecdote. A few days ago I was playing Would You Rather with a friend of mine, and the question, would you rather explore space or the deep sea, came up. To any sane human being, the answer is obvious: space. Always space. Always fucking space. You've got sweet galaxies, double suns, black holes, and other neat shit. And deep under the ocean you've got these spooky McFucks. Seriously, who in their Cthulhu-worshipping, anglerfish-adoring mind would ever choose the deep sea? Now, if it isn't already obvious, I have a moderate case of thalassophobia, and a rather extreme fear of the unknown. What I'm trying to say is that I'm a downright coward when it comes to anything even remotely close to horror. I would be at the complete mercy of the genre if not for my nigh-impenetrable hand shield and blanket bunker maneuvers. They've done me many a great service throughout my life, but the thing is, they don't quite work against my own imagination. You see, jump scares are nothing compared to the blood-chilling, shallow-breath, hair-raising fear of the unknown. That's the kind of thought-provoking, primal fear that gets me. And that's the same type of fear Subnautica managed to instill into me the first time I played it. But like the brave little gamer I am, I stuck through it all in spite of my fears. And that means there has to be something under the surface that made me stay. For those of you who don't know what Subnautica is a video game where you begin marooned on an alien ocean planet, surrounded by a menagerie of menacing wildlife and enveloped by a myriad of mysteries. Armed with only the barest of necessities, you must brave the unknown and unravel the secrets of the planet if you wish to escape. Well, that's the skinny of it anyway. I find that there's a common quality in video games that make their way into my love letter list, and that's their ability to make me lose myself in their fictional settings, to find the hours zip by like they used to when I was a kid, to capture the essence of enjoyment that is seemingly becoming a more and more scarce resource as I grow older. I like to believe that same feeling is an amalgamation of things. It's kind of like this warm, hearty, home-cooked meal, where the ingredients are gameplay, story, sound design, and art direction. I could easily slap numbers on these various video game aspects and average them out to give you a nice little score out of 10, but I don't really think that system works. One glaringly deficient facet of a video game can't simply be made up for by the others. It just doesn't work like that. They feed into each other like one big fucked up Ouroboros. It isn't quite my style anyway. Besides, you already know I think the game is good, so what I'm about to say shouldn't really surprise you. Exploration, gathering, and crafting are the main components that make up Subnautica's gameplay. The basic loop is to explore and gather things in Area X, to craft something that allows you to explore and gather in Area Y. Rinse and repeat. Don't get me wrong though, I think the gameplay loop is rather addictive, but that's less attributed to the genre and more attributed to the execution. Subnautica manages to keep gameplay fresh at almost every point in the game's narrative. Consistent upgrades to traveling speed, and an ever-increasing arsenal of tools keeps the monotony to a minimum. Some tools unlock new previously inaccessible areas, others transform tiresome tasks into something hilariously simple. I mean, look at these guys caught in my trap. Anyone who's played before knows it's a damn good feeling to go from the basic bitch flippers to racing around in a Seamoth. Movement is as smooth as a baby's bottom, and I'm honestly quite surprised they managed to nail three-dimensional movement so perfectly. Not once did I feel awkward zooming through massive cave systems and alien forests. Land movement, on the other hand, is adequate. Thankfully, you spend 99% of your playtime underwater. Base building is intuitive. You can go from constructing simple single-room outposts to sprawling multi-leveled underwater mansions. But mechanics aren't quite enough to keep it fresh. Biomes and environments play a huge role in keeping you interested. The developers managed to foster this magical feeling of wonder when you traverse their world. The biomes are so varied in appearance, ambience, and inhabitants that you never really know what area you're going to explore next. At one point, you're admiring the adorable bladderfish and peepers in the serene shallow shores, not a fear in the world. It's just you and these adorable, harmless, exotic fish lounging about near the surface, having the time of your life peacefully collecting materials. Then, 7 hours later, you're fearing for your life and sanity in the blood kelp zone, praying that these absolute nightmare fuel monstrosities don't notice you. In the distance, you hear the unearthly, blood-curdling roar of a Reaper Leviathan. Oh, there he is. Hello. Oh no. Ah. And suddenly the crab squids aren't looking so bad. I can't emphasize this enough, but the developers are incredible at creating a world that truly feels alive. A world that you can get lost in. You ever see a game selling their soundtrack and wonder what kind of idiot actually buys that shit? Well, that's me. I'm the idiot. Sound design and music, and sometimes the lack thereof, are implemented splendidly to enhance that alien world feeling. Backing tracks establish the tone of an environment. They contribute to the atmosphere and set the scene, allowing the other elements to shine.
Rig for silent running.
But music is just one part of a larger whole that is this beautiful puzzle. From the hilariously deadpan sarcasm of your robotic assistant, to the panic-stricken survivors of the Aurora calling for aid, to the absolutely horrifying sounds that come out of some of the wildlife's mouths. Each of these elements fits so perfectly together, and it begins to take shape in the form of this flourishing and dynamic environment. It was cool enough watching the construction of my own badass mobile base, but to climb aboard and have your ears blessed with,
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
That's the kind of shit that steps it up to the next level. Sound design for me personally is where Subnautica shines the brightest, with narrative and storytelling coming a very close second. The writing philosophy of show, don't tell is manifested masterfully in this game. I don't need essays worth of exposition to tell me about the world. What I need is the game to show me through a barrage of sensory details. I don't need somebody to tell me not to fuck with Reapers. I instinctively know not to fuck with them the moment I hear one roar in the distance. The same goes with the narrative. It isn't something they simply just shove into your face. You begin rather slowly, investigating the fates of fellow survivors of the Aurora. As the mystery begins to progress, the metaphorical yarn ball of a story slowly unravels into something actually quite captivating. That's not to say the game is perfect in every aspect. I recall many hours of zooming over the seemingly endless abyss in attempts to progress to the next area. But it's all worth it in the end, as the adventure slowly comes to this beautiful crescendo that neatly ties together every mystery and leaves your curiosity satiated. The final product owes its success to the enthralling, twisting narrative which is supported by rich art direction, robust gameplay, and immersive sound design. Now I won't lie, the spookometer on this game can get pretty fucking high, but Unknown Worlds has created a remarkably vibrant alien world to lose ourselves in, and it would be a damn shame if you or I were to miss out on it.